Hi guys, welcome back to How Makes Up. Today I'm going to do a look that I did on Fearne cotton for the cover of You magazine. This is the finished look, as you can tell, so if you want to see how to get this look, then keep watching. So now that we've got the kind of cooler weather coming in, my skin tone has gone quite a bit lighter actually, so I'm back to my Rimmel Match Perfection foundation. I wear the colour 103 True Ivory and I really like this foundation. I'm going to put a few pumps on the back of my hand and go with my Louise Young brush, and I'm just going to start applying that through my skin. I would say it's like a little bit dewy, but not too much that if you had oily skin you couldn't wear it. But I do really like this for a budget foundation. And I think on the day the foundation I used on Fearne was the Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua, but I think this gives quite a nice, not too dissimilar effect actually, and it's a much cheaper alternative. If you're doing quite a full-on flick on the eye, what you do want to make sure is you've got a really nice clean eye base. So something like Laura Mercier Eye Basics, I think I used on Fearne on the day. However, I've just been sent this one by Clarins, which I'm really enjoying using at the minute. And it's called the Instant Light Eye Perfecting Base. So I'm just going to tap that on with my ring finger. And you can see it just kind of gets rid of any veins in the eyelid, just makes it nice and clean looking. And just smooth that right up to the brow bone. And it's nice, it doesn't crease, it has a nice kind of smoothing feeling to the eye. So the next thing I went in with was my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I think on Fearne obviously she's blonde, I'm brunette, so I used a lighter shade, but I'm just using medium ash. I'm just going to use that just to fill in a little bit, just to tidy up my brows a little bit. They just need a little bit of grooming. And I'm just going to keep brushing those up. I want my brows quite natural with this look. So brows on, it's now time for the flick, and for that I'm going to use, where is it? I'm going to use the Maybelline Black Shock Lasting Drama pen. Now, there's been a lot of controversy of these kind of eyeliner pens, and I do think this being like a gel liner pen, it definitely is more matte black and a bit longer lasting. So I've been quite impressed with this, and it does say use waterproof makeup remover to get it off, and it is pretty tough to get off actually. You've got the kind of plastic nib, the little sort of applicator to help you sort of make a little point for where you want the liner to go. And so using the plastic end, I'm going to use it to print. And I did quite a bold flick on Fearne, so I'm just kind of using this to trace out a little bit. If you find this really tricky to do, you can use a thinner pen first actually, or a little bit of eyeshadow on an angle brush. And I'm just going to start roughly tracing with what small product is left on the actual pen. And just taking that through, and I'm just going to start kind of making sure that the flick has a nice shape to it. So I'm just going to work on the flick first, making sure I'm happy with where it's at, and then I'm going to fill in this little bit here, and I'm going to start tracing that in, and I'm going to go along my lash line, and I'm going to take that all the way down to the inside. With Fearne's I just went really, really thin to the inside. And I think if you look at pictures of Fearne, she does often have like a flick eyeliner or some kind of liner definition within her eye. And I'm just going right into the inside corner, turning the pen, so from that way, the other way around. So I can just get right into the inside corner. And then also what you want to do is just take that liner into the inside of the actual lash line, which is where I think a gel is quite good because it does just stay a bit better than a liquid pen. So that's one shape done, so you can see it's quite nice and thick black. You want it to have that nice kind of flick on the tail, so you've got that nice kind of shape within the eye. So I'm just going to do the same on the other side and come back to you. So the next thing was mascara, and I applied a lot of mascara. The one I'm going to use today is the Max Factor False Lash Effect. I'm going to do my top lashes first with a bit of false lash mascara. So then I'm going to take my MAC palette and I'm going to use a little bit of, I think this is charcoal brown. I'm going to use a little bit of this just under my eye for a bit of natural shadow. I'm just using a little bit on a 217, and I'm just going to take that just on the outer corner underneath the lower lashes. I just want like a natural little bit of shadow under the eyes, just to balance that big black liner. Next I'm going to take a bit of the Clinique bottom lashes and I'm going to apply that to my bottom lashes. And I'm just going to go along, like I said, I want a little bit of definition, nothing too full on. Now onto concealer. I think on the day I used a bit of NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, but I've been testing out a couple of drugstore concealers recently for a blog post I have coming up, or may already be out by the time this video goes up. The concealer that I'm going to use, that I've really been enjoying, is this Instant Anti-Age, the Eraser Eye, I think it's called, by Maybelline. And the colour system, in terms of what colours you can choose, isn't amazing, but this one seems to really suit my skin tone. I don't know if it does have a name on it. I think it was Light, it's just called Light. So not a big fan of the whole sponge applicator thing, but I think because I'm only using this myself, it's not so bad, but not really keen. It's a shame the product's so good, but the actual how it dispenses isn't as great. So I'm just gonna give it a little twist, and I'm gonna pop some under my eyes. I'm gonna take a little bit on my chin and a little bit around my nose, because I've been getting quite a bit of redness on my nose. I'm gonna take a Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm just gonna use that to kind of pat that in around those areas. Just a little bit around my nose. And what I like about this concealer is it does almost dry a bit kind of semi-matte, so it's quite good if you're not really a big powder wearer. Next I'm going to take a bit of One Heck of a Blot. This is by Soap & Glory, and I'm going to use this just to set down my T-zone really. So I'm just going to take a Japanese Art Shop brush, and I'm just going to use that kind of down the centre of my nose, a little bit on my chin, and a little bit either side. Again, I find this foundation does kind of dry to the touch, which is nice, even though it'll still look dewy. You don't have to put a lot of powder on, which I think is really good. Now I'm going to do the lip before I do anything blusher wise. On Fearne on the day we did start with a nude lip, and then I felt that because there was lots of colours going on in the background and she had quite a colourful outfit on, that we needed a little bit of colour into the lip. So I just added a little bit of coral into the nudiness of the lip that I'd already created, so to speak. So I'm going to start with this. This is a Korres lip butter, and it's in Pomegranate, and this is really nice for like a quick bit of colour on your lip. It's sort of like a corally pink, and I'm just going to use my ring finger. I'm just going to start applying that to my lip. I think you see it's got quite a nice coral tone. Nice and easy, don't need any brushes really. And I'm going to add a bit more to the centre. And then just going back in my Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm just going to make sure the corners are all nicely blended. So now I've got more the corally lip on, I think I need a bit of colour in my skin. So I'm going to use a bronzer first. I'm going to use a bit of the Soap & Glory. This is the Solar Powder Blush, which has the kind of two parts, which I quite like, a lighter bronzer and a darker bronzer. I'm going to take a Real Techniques blush brush for that and just pop that on both sides. And I think with Fearne, I did a little bit of contouring and a little bit of blush just to kind of match up with that lipstick. So I'm just going to take this all over to warm up a little bit around my jawline, kind of into the cheeks a little bit for a bit of colour, but I still want the focus to be kind of on the eye and that lip. I think on the day on Fearne I used a bit of NARS Orgasm on the cheeks because I wanted that kind of peachy flush in the cheek, but today I'm going to use this, which is the Revolution Ultra Blush Palette in Hot Spice, and it comes, this is from Superdrug, and I think this cost me about £6, and the colours in this palette are just amazing. I'm going to use the Bob Brown Sheer Powder brush for this because they're quite pigmented, and I'm going to take, I think, a little bit of this one here, so they're quite kind of corally colour, just to match up with the lip. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that, knock a bit off, and I'm just going to start applying that to the apples of my cheeks, just so it really kind of ties in with that lip. And I'm just going to pop that on. But I think what this look does kind of give you is a kind of instant kick of health, which is really nice. The sort of blush, the lip with the eye, everything looks quite brightening, quite fresh. And going back to my powder brush, and I'm just going to soften any edges to make sure it's all nicely blended. So that's the finished look, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, not many products to use, and I've used quite a lot of drugstore products in there as well, just to keep the prices down. I think this look is really nice for every day or even a night out. You can make the lip stronger if you wanted to kind of take it up for a more evening look. And I think what's nice about this makeup is kind of the blusher and the lip. It's very brightening, and it's kind of makes the skin look really healthy and awake. So I hope that was fun, guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and please subscribe and like, and I'll see you soon for more videos. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.